Now, I love Amy Adams and I love thriller movies. Question is, will this 2021 movie, The Woman in the Mirror, be good? Let's find out. In a world without window coverings, there is a woman who is an agoraphobic psychologist, played by Amy Adams, who is always watching the going-ons of her neighbors across the street. One family in particular catches her eye and drags it 15 feet. No, that's not really true. Okay, fine. Since she is at home and won't leave or go anywhere, she has nothing else to do and becomes obsessed with the window shows. Well, let me start out by saying I really like Amy Adams. There's not been one movie I haven't enjoyed her in. She's a really good actress. She's very entertaining to watch, to say the least. In all of her movies she's ever been in, I've really enjoyed. In fact, I really enjoyed the first 2 acts of this movie, where we really got to see her agoraphobia, experience it. She does a wonderful job. I really felt like I was there. I could see how it felt, how she had her house all dark, how she was afraid to interact with people. They'd come in, she could not go out, things like that. I thought that was really interesting, and I definitely got pulled into it. And then you have a great cast here with Gary Oldmen, Julian Moore, and then also the kid, that neighbor kid. He's played by Fred Hetchinger. He does a really convincing job as well. This movie was originally a novel. I could tell by the way it developed a really complex beginning, really pulled me into it. I couldn't wait to see what's going to happen. I was like, I'm going to enjoy this movie. I'm just into it. I can get into these thrillers and just kind of sit into it, you know. Couldn't wait to see what was going to happen. Was she experiencing reality or not, or what the heck? One of my favorite things to say, what was going on? It's got me thinking, guys, with the agoraphobia. I have myself have experienced that to some extent, where I just don't want to leave the house. When I leave the house, I'm like, oh, I have experienced that. She had it way worse than I ever had, but I could relate. I could see how I could have fed that and it would have gotten worse. So that makes me want to go over some of the common signs of agoraphobia. See if you guys have any of these. If you've ever experienced them, leave a comment down below. They often have symptoms like panic attack, feeling hot and sweaty, feeling sick, chest pain, difficulty swallowing, diarrhea, trembling, dizziness, ringing in the ears, and feeling faint. Definitely experienced some of these when I've left the house before. Apparently it's if you leave the house you experience this, or if you're going into an area where you have fear of it, like maybe the grocery store or something bad happened, you'll experience this as well. I think it's very important to know if you have these issues or if you're experiencing them, get on them as early as possible. Feeding into this, I don't feel, not a professional, but I don't feel like it's a good idea to feed these anxieties and fears. I think it's best to seek help as soon as possible. In summary, this movie, really, the first 2 acts were great. Awesome, set into it, got into the mood, set the mood. I felt like she did a good job. Amy Adams playing a agoraphobe that was like, oh my gosh, I can feel what she means, how she feels like she's in this little cave, doesn't want to leave, and oof, I could just feel it. Great. Great building, great atmosphere, great wondering what's going to happen, setting up the characters, what's happening here, well that's weird, what the heck, whoa, what is going on here? But then we get to the last act, and it reminds me of Game of Thrones. I don't know if you guys saw Game of Thrones. But in Game of Thrones, the last season, they were like, oh, I guess we got to wrap this up. And they literally had all this development and they just, boom, wrap it up and everything goes quick. And you're like, what the heck? They can fast travel and everything else. It was ridiculous. Well, they kind of did this in this one too. All of a sudden they were throwing tons of stuff and this was going on. This turn and this turn and this turn. What? He's that way? What's going on? They just threw it all at the end. Not a lot of explaining. Kind of quick explaining, but then kind of quick summarizing. Where I felt like it's like, wow, it's kind of like they took out a piece of the movie and just skipped to the end kind of thing on it. So I didn't like that a lot. Now, is this movie worth watching? I would say if you're a big fan of thriller movies, if you're a big fan of Amy Adams and the other characters in it, it's mainly Amy Adams, but there's a lot of other characters in it as well. If you're a big fan of them and you like the genre, I'm going to say it's definitely worth seeing. I didn't regret seeing it. I just thought the ending got a little at the end. So I'm going to give Woman in the Window a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. But hey guys, don't have to give up watching the videos now. There's one right here. This is a really good video. You should check it out. Or this one. But either way, you can continue your journey. You don't have to stop here.